So the profile diet, I've been getting a lot of questions about this ever since I did a couple other diet reviews. Been getting a lot of questions about the profile diet. And some of you guys know it's almost like a health clinic. You go in there, you get some coaching with a one-on-one coach. It costs about $300 a year to sign up and about $40 to $100 a week for food, depending on what foods you select. Now, before I begin, I'll tell you I had a friend that did this. And I'm not going to say if it's a male or a female. I'm going to leave it anonymous. I'm just going to call him a he. So he did this diet. He was almost 300 pounds. He was like 245, maybe 5'10", 5'9", 290 probably, somewhere in that range. Really, really heavy. He did this diet. He started explaining it to me and how excited he was about it and how, awesome it is. And he lost weight. He started getting down. I mean, it was noticeable. Most of the time, may not be noticeable. He was losing noticeable weight. So the weight was definitely coming off. He got probably to the 230 range, which is still a lot. And then I think even at one point 220. So he was looking pretty slim. Now this person has a public profile. They do a lot of things publicly. And I'm not going to say what it is. But they were getting a lot of compliments, a lot of people saying things. As you know, this kind of comes with the territory when you start losing weight. People all have their opinions and their comments, which they should not have. But that happens, and then you get super excited. So eventually he gained all the weight back and was not sustainable. Now, here's my problem with the profile diet. So first off, you don't know what it is. You go in, supposedly it's designed by researchers or nutritionists or physicians at the Sanford, Health Institute, supposedly one of the biggest hospital systems in the world. And nothing wrong with any of that. But you pay, I think, $300 to join. Sometimes there's coupons for it where it's only $150 a year. It's like a yearly membership. You pay about $40 to $100 some odd dollars per week for food. They basically supply you with food. My problem with it is a lot. First of all, they have 3 phases. They have one phase that's almost no carbohydrates, super low calorie. We're talking like 1,000 calories, maybe 1,200 a day per person, regardless of whether you're a male or female. They say they tailor it to you. If you're a male, it's probably a little more. If you're a female, it's a little bit less. Absolutely no carbs to reset your metabolism and get a lot of weight off quickly. The second phase is when you get closer to your ideal body weight or your goal weight. When you're 10 to 15 pounds away, you start adding back more grocery type foods, fruits and vegetables, whatever, carbs. And then later it's like a sustainability phase where when you finally get to your goal weight, you kind of like sustain for the rest of your life and you learn how to eat normally. Well, the problem is they're giving you pre-prepared foods. You pay $100 a week. It's $400 a month. And they give you 6 meals a day, including protein shakes and protein bars. And supposedly, based on the reviews, they taste great and they taste amazing. Nothing wrong with that. But the problem is you're teaching people to eat your food. You're supplying them with food. That's kind of my problem with like these Jenny Craig or Nutrisystem type diets where they send you the food and you eat it. You sign up for the system. They send you meals for $400 a month of 1,200 calories a day. You eat them and you lose weight. What happens when you don't have $400 a month anymore or when you want to stop doing it? Then what do? You didn't learn how to eat foods that you enjoy at an amount or a calorie count that causes you weight loss or you maintenance or you bulking or gaining, whatever it might be. So that's my number one problem is the supplied food element. They're giving you food, their shakes, their whatever. It's kind of brilliant. Hey, we'll pay $150 a year, really low cost, $300 a year, but buy our food every week and we'll get you to lose weight. Genius. People say the food tastes great. Some people say it tastes horrible and they hated their food. But they also give you one-on-one coaching. They sign you up with a coach, and that coach is like an accountability coach, which people need. Some people do need like an accountability group, a social support system, a spouse or friend, somebody to help them on their journey. This is like your one-on-one coach to help you. That works. I have nothing wrong with that. That's actually great. Whether it's a small group coaching session or a one-on-one accountability coach, that is awesome. I have no problems with that. But the supplied food aspect of it is a huge problem because you're not going to be able to eat supplied food from them forever. No one is going to do this for 10 years. You're going to be paying $100 a week for 10 years? No. I don't know what that adds up to, but it's a lot of money. Not that many people are going to do that. So that's my number one problem. This is not something sustainable. Even though they say, no, eventually you add back normal foods and you add back grocery foods and you don't need our shakes and bars and anything anymore. From a human behavior standpoint, sure, the science of that works, and I'm sure lots of people do it and it's fine. But from a human behavior standpoint, most people are probably just going to gain their weight back. You know, the vast majority of human beings being normal human beings, and this is not a fault of you, this is not your fault, you're just a normal human, but humans being human, you're going to gain the weight back. No one is going to be able to stick to this magical new sustainability phase or sustain phase, whatever they call it, when you haven't been doing that. You go 6, 7, 8 months, a year, whatever it is, you lose all this weight, you get to your goal weight, now they tell you, okay, you're free to go, you can eat whatever you want, but just eat like this. And no, I mean, that's like somebody who hasn't been drinking for a year and you're like, oh, guess what, today's a free day, go drink all you want. Like that's just insane. So that's not going to work. Now, my other issue with it, the second problem I have with it, is they tell you have to eat every like 2 hours. They say that eating every 2 hours stokes your metabolism and gets that flame of metabolism going. That is not true. We have tons of research studies now showing that whether you eat all of your calories all at once in one big meal a day, 2 big meals a day, 3 big meals a day, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little meals a day, it does not matter. If you're eating this many calories in 24 hours, that is all that matters. In fact, that doesn't even matter. How many calories you've eaten that whole week is what actually matters. So your daily average, weekly average, monthly average, annual average, whatever it is, as long as you're eating below your calorie needs, you will lose weight. My other issue, the thing about eating, I got to eat again in 3 hours, like just stop. I mean, and first of all, the other problem with that is it's not sustainable. When I go to work, I don't always have time to eat every 3 hours, and people whose scheduling and jobs doesn't fit into that, they're going to think, oh my God, I can never lose weight again because I can't eat every 3 hours. So that's just ridiculous. You do not need to eat every 3 hours to lose weight. Some people eat 1 meal a day and lose weight. Some people eat only 2 meals a day and lose weight. Some people eat 10 meals a day and lose weight. It all comes down to your final calorie count. The other thing that I don't like is they talk about ketosis, like that first phase where you lose a ton of weight, where you're only eating 1,000 or 1,200 calories a day. You don't eat any carbs, and you go into the severe ketosis or mild ketosis or whatever they call it. You don't need to go into ketosis to lose weight. When you're in a calorie deficit, whether you're ketotic or not, you are losing weight. So whether you're measuring your ketones in your bloodstream or your urine dipsticks, or we measure your beta hydroxybutyrate in your bloodstream, it doesn't matter. If you're under your calorie count, weight is coming off, and you are technically slightly maybe ketotic, depending on how many carbs you've had that day. And even if you've had a full amount of carbs, normal amount of carbs, 100 grams or 80 grams, whatever, but you're still under your calorie count, you might not be in ketosis, but you're still losing a lot of weight. The same amount as anyone else would be that's eating the same amount of calories, whether they're in ketosis or not. And there's hundreds of studies that have proven this now. They've done studies where they've taken people, had them eat super high glycemic index, super processed carbs, and people who ate almost none of that, but they're at the same calorie count, same amount of protein. There was no difference in the amount of weight lost. And we have tons of these studies now. It's not just 1 or 2. Like, people wanted to test this exact thing, and we tested this exact thing, and that's what happens. Thank God for science. We have this thing called science now, and we can dispel a lot of these rumors and myths. Maybe 100 years ago we didn't have that, but we have it now. So you cannot fool people. The other problem with this is, first of all, those are a lot of problems. I mean, having the paid for, sent to you meals, the rigid eating structure, the supposed ketosis element of it, what happens when you fall off the bandwagon at the end, all of this. My biggest other problem with it is like the negative mindset that it sets. I'm huge on mindset. I have a awesome mindset course, like what the mindset of weight loss. I'll link it below. It's free. Go to it. It's completely free. Mindset of weight loss. But my biggest problem with this is the mindset that it reinforces all these negative thoughts about food. Like, you can only eat their protein shakes and their protein bars and this exact meal. You can only eat this, and this. They give you a list of acceptable foods and what's not acceptable. And you have to talk to your coach on the phone, and they tell you, no, don't eat that. Like, that is a huge, huge negative energy almost being put on you for what you eat. I'm not a big fan of assigning moral value to food. Like, food is not good or bad. Food is just food. Some food gives you enjoyment and pleasure. Like a lot of people that write reviews about these profile diets or other diets, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I ate an Egg McMuffin that day. I felt so bad. My coach told me not to do it and I felt horrible, and I talked to it about my coach. Like, we are giving people psychological disorders, like eating disorders, by imposing these super rigid, super strict, super restrictive rules about dieting. You don't need to do that. You can enjoy food. You want some ice cream? Eat some ice cream. Just make sure it's this many calories and that's how much you have left for today. Or eat 1,200 calories of just ice cream today. You'll still lose weight. If that's your calorie count that they told you to eat, I guarantee you, if you're eating 1,200 calories a day, you're going to lose weight eating it if it's just ice cream or Twinkies. And you can look up my Twinkie diet video if you want to. But that's been studied and replicated thousands of times. My other problem with this diet is the low calorie counts. Putting a male who's, let's say, almost 300 pounds, like my friend, on an 800 calorie diet of shakes and protein bars and random little, cardboard tasting pizzas, that kind of sucks. I mean, and it's low. I mean, you are wasting muscle. Like, a lot of these people that do this diet, they're like, oh my God, I lost 5 pounds in 1 week. 5 pounds in 1 week is a lot. That's like 2 to 3% of your body weight. We normally recommend losing 0.5 to 1% of your body weight so that you don't lose lean body mass. We don't want you to lose muscle. You don't want to lose muscle. Muscle is important. It's good for strength, good for mobility, good for functionality, quality of life. Makes you look good too. You don't want to be losing muscle. If you're losing 5 pounds a week, for the vast majority of people that are 140 to 240 pounds, that's like 2 to 4% of your body weight, maybe more. You're losing muscle. That's not a good way to lose weight. Sure, we can make you crash diet, eat 1,000 calories a day or 800 calories a day, lose tons of weight quickly. These are like these crash diets where you lose 30 pounds in 90 days or 30 pounds in 30 days, whatever they say. But you're losing a lot of lean body mass. It's the fastest way to lose weight is to lose lean body mass. Sure, you're losing fat too, but if you're losing weight that quickly, you're losing muscle. You don't want to be doing that. So I'm not a big fan of these. Like, when I asked my friend, tell me what they're having you eat, and he goes through and all this and he tells me everything, and you kind of add it up in your mind. Literally, he was eating probably 800 to maybe 1,000 calories a day, and he was losing weight quickly, and that sort of reinforces this bad relationship with food. You're barely eating and you're losing a lot of weight quickly, so you're super happy and excited because you're getting results, which are not lasting, first of all, and they're not good because you're losing muscle. But that's another part that I really, really don't like, the super, super, super low calorie counts. And I talk about this stuff in all my lectures, grow through my videos, my weight loss playlist and all that, plus my book. I have all the research studies and explanations of them and everything in my book. I'll put the link to the book below. But that's really what I don't like about this diet. There are lots and lots of other way better ways to lose weight. Like, first of all, what I tell my patients, eat food that you're already eating, stuff that you've been eating for the last 20 or 30 years, just eat a lot less of it. I guarantee you'll lose weight, and I guarantee you'll be able to do it for the next 20 or 30 years because that's what you're already doing. You've been doing this for 20 or 30 years. You're most likely going to be doing this for the next 20 or 30 years. So do that. I'll put some links below and share this with some friends that need to hear this.